Hi, it's Martin Solo. This is a quick drum tutorial in Logic Pro. This is aimed at beginners. I use minimal plugins. I also use Splice to get all the samples. I hope this helps some of you guys. Okay, so we're going to jump into Logic Pro. Alright, I'm going to use Splice to get the samples for this. So we're going to search for a kick drum first. So at the top of Splice, just type in kick, press enter. We've got most popular, most relevant. Go to most popular for this. I'm just going to get what could potentially be some good samples. Right, so I'm going to drag this one across. So this is the kick drum. Okay, so this is the kick drum that we're going to use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten it to start with. Okay, on the left hand side we've got the region, so I'm going to make this smaller, just put 99999 in the fade out, press enter. That automatically just makes a straight curve. There's other things you can do here, so the curves, so you can make it however you want the volume of that sample to go, so we'll do that. I'll drag this across to every 4. Right, that's a bit loud. We're going to bring this down. I like to put everything about -8 on the channel strip. So on the left hand side, if I just make the region smaller and the track smaller. So this is the channel for that kick drum. Okay, so it's a little bit quiet, but that is where we should be having it. I'm going to add a clap in next. So I'm going to use this clap. That's quite a nice clap. So the clap, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to shorten it. I'm going to put the fade out. You can drag up and down on the fade, unlike if you want, and then add that over. Have a listen. Bring the volume down of that. Right, so that's sounding good so far. Go back to Splice. Get a hat. Let's have that. Quite like that one. It's nice and shiny, that. So we'll bring that in. Every other bar. We'll have a listen to that. That's quite nice. Have we got any of the hats? Quite like this one. It's a bit long, but I quite like it. We'll bring that across. We'll shorten it, and then we'll do the same fade out with the audio. Maybe add a little curve on it, and then bring this across. Don't forget to bring this down, so -8 again, -8 again. Right. So that's kind of your basic tech house beat. So what we need to do to add to it is add some more percussion-y elements. So let's search for percussion. Quite like that. It's kind of like a rim. So if we bring that in. So I like to put these percussion-y elements in between the hat and the kicks. So not on every one. So if we put them on there, and there. So let's have a, let's bring that down. Sounding quite good. Like that one as well, so we'll bring that across. Again, in between the kick and the hat. So as you can see, let's put that one there, and let's put that one at the end. Quite long, so if we select them, go to the bottom right of the sample, and then we can shorten the actual audio file. Then go to the fade out again. We do the same with this one as well. What's really good to help with the groove, to make it sound more humanized as well, if you select the audio file, go to the gain, bring that down. I'm going to bring that down to about 2.3. Same with this one, bring that one down a little bit. maybe that one down a bit as well. Also the individual ones, shorten and lengthen the actual audio sample. Also, right, let's bring that down to about 8. Right, so let's have a listen to that. Right, that sounded quite nice so far. Okay, good to do with some more percussion. So let's get some cloves in it. That's quite nice. Let's get that one. So we'll bring this one across. So even though I like to put the sounds in between the kicks and the hats, you don't have to do that. It's just something that I quite like to do. I find it easier to manage with. Also overlaying the sounds, you can do that. Right, so we're sounding good now. We're sounding funky. Right, so before this gets any more, if we minimise the audio, each sound, like every single sound, I like to add EQ. My favourite one to use is the Pro-Q3. So right now we're on the clav, so that's that channel. So there's some low end down there, so I don't want that. I don't want that low end, so I'm going to bring that across. This is poking through about there. The percussion bit, so this one. So I'm going to do the same with this one. So stereo that. Get rid of the low. There's a bit of high end stuff there that I don't really want either. That's to help the hats come through in the mix. So everything has to have their own kind of like place in the mix. Right, next sound, EQ this. Okay, so that's EQ'd. Hats usually have a lot of frequencies. Oops, let's solo the hat. Get rid of the lows. There's a few little frequencies that are poking out independently, so I like to bring them down just to make it all a bit more smoother, a bit less harsh on the ears as well. Okay, so that's all done. Next one. So I'll EQ this one as well. It's quite nice. The clap. So the clap. So I might bring it down. Yeah, I might bring it down there just to make it a bit more subtle. Make the clap a bit more subtle, just so it's not too clappy. That makes the kick a bit more punchy in the mix as well. So if we go to the kick, right, I like to bring this up to about 35-40ish. Okay, that later on we can compress to get those frequencies back, to get those sub frequencies back. I just like to have that initially in the mix. Okay, also you can see it's now peaking. So what we want to do is we want to bring this down a little bit. So if we bring the gain down to -1, there we go, so we're not peaking. Just double check all the rest of them. Yeah, that one's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, looking good so far. Yeah, cool. Right, so this is the bass and drums. Right, so what I like to do as well is I like to put swing on them. So a big thing with tech house is getting swing on your drums. So if you click this little button up here, okay, what this does is it brings up, so these are all the audio files. So this is every single audio file in the project. So if I select those ones, you can see that. There we go. So it's kind of like a runtime of how the samples are being played, if that makes sense. So the kick is the top one, and then this one. So it goes left to right, and this one goes top to bottom. But with these percussion elements, I like to add swing to them. So it's under the quantize, click on here, you've got some swing elements down here, like the 1/16th, and then if we go to swing D, okay, that automatically shifts them off the grid, so it swings them off the grid, so you can see that's where the grid is, but it's moved that over there. Okay, so now if I play it, so now we've got some nice swinging drums. Okay, so right, so I think this needs a shaker on it as well. Shake. Right, let's add this shaker in. Right, so this shaker, so it's 125 BPM, so that fits nicely. I'll show you how to time stretch something else in a minute. Bottom right corner, and then we drag that across, so that shortens it. Okay, now with this, we can't quantize that using this way. What we've got to do is on the top left corner, it says region, open that up, and then it's quantize there. Now if we change this to, so 1/16th swing D, okay, that'll automatically move everything. If we press this button here, up here, there we go, this opens up the time stretching elements. So now you can see that we've got this line in line here, so we've got the swing elements on the shaker now. So if we close, make that smaller, what I'm going to do is bring that down to -8 again. Okay, and we're going to EQ it. EQ it. Right, so I don't want the top end there because that's where the hat is fitting, and get rid of the low end. So that's sounding good so far. Another thing I like to do with the shaker is sometimes I like to sidechain it. So I like to use the Fab Filter C2. Okay, so in here what we do, sidechain, so you pick your kick drum, which is that audio file there. Okay, click on the sidechain down here and click EXT. Okay, so the threshold is how much lower the shaker's going to go when the kick drum's hitting. The attack, so put that, I'd like to put that straight at the start, so small attack, so it happens straight away. So as soon as the kick drum hits, then it ducks straight away. And the release, so this is up to feel, so this is how long does the sidechain last. So if I put it back there, so that helps that kick drum just kind of poke through on that shaker loop. And on the clav, I'm not really too keen on the high end bit of that. Maybe bring that down a bit. Also with this, maybe make that a bit smaller. Right, let's make that one a little bit longer. Let's add some reverb onto this sound just to make it a bit more spacious. So in reverb, I really like the Logic reverb. I've got this as a user default, so you can feel free to copy all the settings and everything. So if I bring that down a little bit smaller, the wet gain, right, so this is how much of the effect is going to be there. So we've got the dry one going through, and the wet one is the effect, so it's kind of like a parallel reverb. So this is it without, this is it with. Okay, also on this sound, I'm not really keen at the very start of the sound, so I'm going to add a fade in on it, just to change the transient slightly. Right, I might want to change this as well. So we've got the transpose here, which basically that's going to put it down one note. Okay, so if it was on a keyboard, on a sampler, this would be bringing it down on the one note. so that's sounding good so far. And then from here, we just kind of do the same thing and just layer the drums until we're happy with what we've got. So the first thing I'm going to layer is going to be another clap. So let's get a nice clap. And get this one. So press the plus sign, spend a credit on this one. Okay, bring that across. And then drag. I like to drag it up so it's the claps are where the claps are, the hats are where the hats are. Make it shorter, do the fade out. Don't forget to bring the audio down again. Okay, and then add the EQ. That's peaking there as well, so we'll bring that down. Okay, so that one's sounding quite good when it's on there, so we'll add this one across. To copy, if you hold down the Option key, and then it comes up with a green plus where the arrow is, and then you can just drag across sideways, and then you could copy it if you want. Okay. Right, that's sounding good. I want to add another instance of the reverb. I want to make this really short. Let's have a listen to what this sounds like now. Right, so that's sounding really good. Might actually use this in something. Right, let's add some more percussive elements. So let's add conga. That's quite a nice loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this in. I'll show you how to use the loops now. So the BPM of this, so on Splice it's showing the BPM is 118. So what we want to do, if I make it smaller, so that is your 4 beat there, and you can see that it overlays it, it kind of like it's too long for it. But as long as I've got this selected, okay, if we click this little button here with like the sideways 8, click that, and then top right of that audio file, you can see it comes up with this little logo. So if I click that and drag that, okay, that time stretches it. So you can time stretch the audio file that way. Okay, bottom right, and then we can shorten it. So I've only got the little bits there that I want. If I bring that down to -8 again. Okay, so now we've got that nice little loop in there as well. But we've got to quantize it as well. So we quantize that. Yet again, 1/16 swing D. So it already sounded really good there, so we're going to do the same thing with the EQ. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this up a bit. So if we click that, that makes it steeper. I'm going to bring this across as well. Okay, so there's something. So with this loop, I might want to tighten those drums up a bit. So I can't do the audio fades like I did on the other ones. So what I'm going to do is, if you go into the dynamics on Logic, there's something called the enveloper, which this is basically a transient shaper. So if I bring this down, so we've got the time. Okay, so if I bring this right up, that's going to be a really short transient. So now if I listen to it, without that, with it, okay, so put it wherever you feels best and sounds best for yourself. So I think that's quite nice there. So if we listen to that now. Okay, so yep, so keep on adding other signs. Let's add a ride into this. This is quite nice. I like this ride. Actually like that as well. I'm going to bring this one across and put this one, I'm going to put this one on the end. So this one's going to kind of go here. And instead of time stretching it or anything, what I'm going to use is the scissors tool. So go down here, go to scissors and cut that. And then with selected, you just press the backspace button. Okay, and then I'm going to zoom in. Yeah, that's okay. Right, so with this I'm going to lower it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it there. So what it's going to do is add a little bit more feel to that last open hat. So what we might want to do is add a little fade in, add a tiny fade out. Maybe bring that down a little bit more. So that's good. So let's just add some more percussion in. So all about layering these percussion elements, and you get some really nice stuff. Get some really nice stuff. Quite like that, so I'm going to download this. I'm going to add this in. Right, so add that there, we're going to add it there. Maybe there as well. One more there. Let's make them shorter. If you hold shift and select the different audio files, it then selects them all. You can edit them all at the same time. And then we'll do the same, fade out, fade in, bring the volume down. Add another EQ onto this. What we can also do is on this channel, if you press two buttons, so it right clicks, you can change it to stereo pan, and then we can pan stuff. So I like to pan stuff minimalist, not too much. Let's pan this one as well. 6, this one as well. Let's put that one up there. Okay. So we've now got that little 4 beat. So what we can do is highlight everything, hold Option, and then drag across. Let go, and there you go. So now got a 4 beat. So over this 4 beat, we can add some other things or take stuff away. So this, the ride, I'm going to get rid of that. So we've only got it at the end now of our 4 beat. If I go to Splice again, we can add, I quite like that shake, so I'll add this. So we'll get a shaker in there as well now. Shake, shake. And put a shaker there. So I'll add this in. Don't forget to quantize it. Quantize it. And then EQ. And bring the volume down. Clap, I might add a little fade in on that as well. So I think going forward, it's quite good. I might add a reverse clap. So if I go to clap, scroll down a bit to something I don't. this clap. We're going to add this clap in. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do two things with the clap. So with it highlighted, in the region there's a reverse tick box. So if I tick that, that then reverses the sound. So we can then make that come up to reverse into the clap. So if we listen to, I'll bring that down. So now, okay, so we might want to make that a little bit smaller, add more fade in. Yeah, we'll add some EQ to that. So get rid of that low end. Always got to make sure to get rid of that low end, because that can ruin the bass when we add the bass in. Oh, that's still a bit loud. There we go. I think we're good here. I think we've got a good little tech house drum beat. I'll add one more thing to it. Okay, so something I like to do, highlight the kick drum, press Control and B. Okay, this bounces the region in place. So if I press OK, it then creates a whole new track with that sample in it. Okay, it mutes the one before, so if you right click on it, you should be able to unmute it, or just delete it and add another kick, because it's just the kick drum. So with this one, if we reverse this as well, now because I'm going to reverse this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bass out of the kick drum. Okay. So about there. Right, if I drag that so that that then comes in at the very, very end. Just drag that there. Okay. Now this is a really good effect. So I really like that little effect. It's really good just before a drop, or if you're doing some sort of fill or something like that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope that helped some of you. If you liked the video and you've got some ideas that you wanted to see in another video, please leave that in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll try and upload some more soon. Thanks guys, peace.